Hey everybody, my next guest is a very funny comedian who also loves to cook and sing. She is a producer, promoter, and host of the Out of Control comedy and owner of RINCON CRIOLLO restaurant in Queens. Here she is, the one and only Esther Acosta. Esther,
Hola,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. This is so awesome to finally get you on. I've been a fan of what you're doing on Instagram for a while. I've been just watching all your Instagram stuff. It always picks me up, makes me feel good. Very, very upbeat and very
Oh,
positive.
thank you. I
Yes.
try. I have to stop you though. Rincón Criollo, no Criollo.
Ricon, how do you say it? I want to do it
It's like if
right.
it was a Y. Criollo.
Criollo.
Yeah.
Criollo.
Yeah.
Ricon Criollo. I love it. That restaurant looks amazing, by the way. I checked it out. I watched a couple of the interviews you guys have done on YouTube, and I'll show some of the B-roll during this interview too of that restaurant. I urge everybody to go out there. It's in Queens, Corona,
No
Queens.
longer. We closed.
Oh, you
We closed in
closed?
Queens. Yeah, we're in New Hyde Park and we're in Huntington Station.
Oh, wow. So there's two, Huntington Station and New Hyde Park. Okay,
Yes.
very good. So everyone's got to go
Yes,
out
yes.
there and check it out. Well, so it was kind of an expansion, but also you just left, you closed one down.
Unfortunately, we were there for 47 years. It was so sad. It was a staple in the community. It was in Corona, Queens, a 7 train, Junction Boulevard. And that neighborhood just got really bad. It got really, really bad. And we just knew it was time to go, just for the safety of our customers, of our staff, of ourselves.
Right. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's a smart move. That's what it had to be one of those kind of tough business moves where you're like, all right,
so
the
hard.
family business has been here for almost 50 years,
Yeah.
but for the betterment of the business, we should move out of here because it's getting bad. And it's a shame that the neighborhood's gotten bad.
It is. I still got my nails and my hair done there. Uh,
Is that where you kind of grew up in Corona, Queens?
no, I grew up in Miami. I'm a Miami girl.
Oh, that's right. You're a Miami girl. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So I've lived half my life here, half my life in Miami. I moved here when I was 21. Actually, more than half my life. But anyways, I moved here when I was 21. And I love New York, and I've lived everywhere. I lived in the Bronx. I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in the city. But I was in Queens for 12 years, and Queens was my home. I just moved to Long Island a couple years ago, so I'm kind of new to the island.
Little slower pace out here.
Yeah, I'm learning to make a right at the red light. Love it.
Right.
Big
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little different. I live way out east on Long Island, so as soon the closer, the more west I go, the more driving I have to like really get into my New York zone of driving. So
Yeah.
like by the time I get into like Wantagh or something like that, but it's all of a sudden it's a little bit more crowded. You got to be a little more aggressive on the roads, and then when you get into Queens, forget it. You have to
Yeah.
be you have
The
to be in
little
your A
little
game.
roller things that what do you call those? The little they're doing the food deliveries. I'm like,
Oh,
move out of the way.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I driving through Queens is always you got to be on your A game. You got to be sharp.
An experience.
But so how long have you had the restaurants out here now?
So, my brother opened the one in Huntington in 2015, and he was running that one by himself, and I was doing Queens. When we closed the Queens location, it was like we didn't want to work together, so I kind of went and did my own thing for a little bit, and then when we opened New Hyde Park in September, now we're back together, so we're both kind of tag teaming it, and so we've been in New Hyde Park since September, so it's been a couple months.
Nice. So congratulations. This is huge.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah, good
love
for
it.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
love it. It's like that homey, like I don't know if have you ever had Cuban food?
oh yeah, I actually been to Miami. I had some Cuban food in Miami too. It was great. Yeah,
Yeah, so
it's
it's just
awesome.
like that homey feeling, and it's just like, it's there's nothing. I mean, I know I love food. I love all sorts of food, but Cuban food is like home. So I get to be at home every day.
Yeah, and I tell you, I was looking through the menu online and stuff like that, and everything just looks so amazing and so delicious. And like you said, everyone should go to these restaurants. I want to pop in now that I know you're close by. or closer by in New Hyde Park in Huntington. That's pretty amazing.
Yay.
So yeah, I think your uncles will be proud.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It started out with my grandfather in Cuba. So it's like been in my family for such a long time. And, I know we haven't gotten into this and I'm moving forward, but one of the reasons I got into comedy was when they closed down all the restaurants during COVID, I was devastated. That was my life. That was everything. And then suddenly you take away everything. And now I'm doing takeout.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and the material just started writing itself. I just, yeah, it was like I was not young, sorry, let me take that out. I was a single, not young. I was a single woman when COVID like happened and I was like trying to be on Tinder and then Tinder wasn't working.
Yeah, it's a rough time to be single when
Yes,
everybody's
it was
locked
horrible.
down. Yeah, that's really the worst time ever to be single. Were you living alone, or you had your
No,
mom with you? Oh, you were
it
living all
was
by yourself?
I lived in a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, long story short. I'm not gonna go there. But I was in this huge apartment by myself. Every night I was like, okay, I'm taking a bottle of wine home with me. The whole thing of bottles of wine was empty by the time COVID was.
Wow.
I was like, and then you close my bars. I can't
Yeah,
sit at a bar, which was my
yeah,
escape.
right.
I'm like, and then when they opened up, they didn't have bars. It was like you had to sit at a table. I'm like, I don't want to sit at a table. I want to talk to a bartender. Those are my friends.
COVID changed the game. COVID, I mean, if obviously it was a serious thing. A lot of people, God bless them, but if you just
Definitely.
think about the lockdowns and just focus on that for this, it was a devastating time where we all were locked down, businesses getting shut down, people losing their jobs, and all this kind of thing. And then, and like you said, the dating scene was null and void. But how do you, because you seem to be a very positive person, like you seem to just, it just kind of radiates from you. How do you stay positive in moments like that?
I'm not gonna lie, it was very hard. And I told my mom, I'm like, I think I'm depressed. Don't tell a Cuban mom you're depressed. She's like, ¿Qué? No, 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 you need to go to the doctor. I'm like, Mom, what do you mean? It's okay to be depressed. She's like, no, it's not okay. It is not okay to be depressed. I'm like, okay, Mom. So I would watch a lot of stand up and I was just watching Angela Johnson. I don't know if you know her, but she's like one of my favorites.
Why do you need Spanish class when you have a Comedy Time Latino? Really, seriously, hola, que pasó? This next clip is muy chistoso.
Yeah.
And I would just get into her and I was watching her and I would watch it all the time. And I was like, you know what? I can kind of relate to certain things. And I'm like, you know what? So I started in my mind kind of writing jokes. And once they started to open up, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to an open mic. And the moment I grabbed that mic, I was like, this is amazing. I was like, what an amazing feeling to be able to talk about all the things that I'm going through and laugh about them instead of crying. Because there were moments that I was like, this is freaking depressing. It is so depressing. And I was like, no, Mom, my mom did not allow me to be depressed.
Yeah, after this show, we're all gonna be free. Cuba's definitely gonna be free. Yeah.
Wow. That's good.
She was like, no.
So she must have, so she was probably your biggest fan when you went out there in the stand-up scene.
And then I started making fun of her. She didn't like that too much. She's like, hey, mamita, why you keep on making fun of me? I'm like, because you're hilarious.
That's what you got to do. You got to pull from your family. That's always like, you got to pull from what's real to you. And no, I think that's great. And so you started stand up out of COVID. So once the clubs started opening up, you're out there. This is when you start. So you're relatively new, but you come across such a natural on stage. You just have like a natural way about you. You're fearless. Um, is performing always in your blood? Was it always something that you had or you wanted to do, or like?
Well, I came from the restaurant business. All my family was in the restaurant business. So when I went to college, I went to hospitality management and I learned how to cook and I loved cooking. I loved kind of performing in the sense of when you're with customers, I'm making them happy. What can I get for you? What can I do for you? And that sort of stuff. And then the joking part just came from my life and the experiences. And I was like, this is hilarious. And then the stage part came from I used to dance in high school. I was in the dance team.
Oh, nice, nice.
So I was like 5, 6, 7, 8. Like I was always like dancing and performing. And that part I loved. When I would get on stage, I was like, that was like, whew, magical. I was Lola, the Copacabana, like
Yeah.
it was a lot. Like I was always like, and then I was in modeling. My mom got me in modeling because what happened was I grew up with brothers.
Right.
So I was a huge tomboy. I loved wrestling, and my mom was like, no, 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 mamita, you have to be a lady. I'm like, I want to, but I want to wrestle with the boys, you know?
Right. Right. That's awesome. Yeah.
So that part was natural to me being on stage. Because I love that part of it. And then the mic part, I'm not gonna lie, that got my voice. I got in the beginning it was hard because I was like, oh, my voice is so whiny. And I wasn't happy with my voice.
Right.
And what ended up happening was when COVID happened, Instagram was huge.
Yeah.
Instagram was how I communicated with the customers. Hey guys, we're open. Come and get your food. And I started listening to my voice. I was like, you know what? You've got a great voice.
Días pasan y yo me siento que este frío nunca se va a acabar. Cada mañana hago el intento de levantarme, pero qué va.
I love it. I love your voice.
You know, and I was, can I curse? Sorry, I curse.
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
time.
you're fine. You're fine.
So, so I was just like enjoying it, and I saw myself in camera, and I saw the way like people reacted to me, and just like all the people just writing to me constantly, and all the DMs. I was used to handle the Rincon Criollo page, and I would get so many DMs from people, and I'm like, wow, this is so cool. And those same people follow me in my comedy because they're like, you know what? I love your energy. You've made me feel good in times that I felt so bad. And your videos, like you say, your videos like kind of like make me want to
Yeah.
get up and dance. And then it's like, why am I feeling down when I should be, you know, feeling better and all that stuff. So yeah, it's definitely been in my blood in the sense of the hospitality part, serving others. And then because of the dancing, you know, being on stage and all that stuff. So yeah.
It's like a whole mix of all these things that brought you to this place where you kind of meant to be. Like you said, learning hospitality and how to serve people and making it about them is also a big part that leads up to this. And then mix that with your normal personality and persona and your love for food and your love for song and your just love of people. It all
Yeah.
kind of shines through. And then, you know, when you're on stage, it just everything's just there. We have all the tools, you know.
And of course, you guys for coming out on this fucking Thursday. Que está de bingo. I know my mom will be so upset if I said that. She would say, "Tita, una niña decente no dice eso." My mother gets mad when I say bingo. You know, it's like a bad word, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's like damn, darn.
And I think too, I remember the first time I saw your videos. I forget how long it must have been around maybe the COVID era, maybe a little bit after that. And I was just like, "Who is this?" And then I'm watching them all, and they're all because it comes from such a real place, and it's real, and you're loving it, and that positive energy radiates through, and it puts you in a good mood, and
Yeah.
that's a special gift.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a special gift that not a lot of people have that. And you know, people got to work on to be like that. It feels like it's just natural, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and like not only showing my happy side, but there was a moment, my best friend's husband passed away and we were, you know, in our 40s. So it was very hard. So I decided, you know what, I'm not going to sit and dance and pretend that it's okay. So I kind of broke down a little bit and I spoke about it. And that's where I was like, oh my gosh, they love me. Like they really like,
Right.
it's not about me laughing and smiling. They want to be in this journey with me, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. And that the amount of love that I got from everyone, I was just like, wow, this is so cool. I've created this beautiful fan base, this beautiful family, you know, that follows me through everything.
Yeah. And that's how it goes especially when it's grassroots and people are there because they want to be there. And I think, like I said, they're lured into you because you're real and you know, and then they'll be there with you for the whole journey. And that's amazing. You
Yeah,
know?
like, you know, sometimes I get a little frustrated and I'm always like, oh, I don't have that many followers. I'm like, I want to have more followers. But here's the thing, I may not have 100,000 followers, but my 2,727 followers really follow me, really know me one-on-one. Like I can reach out to them. Hey, I have a show. Hey, that's amazing. How many people that have 100,000 followers have that? connection. Like, not really,
When you can get a connection like that with your audience, I mean, that's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. And when people feel connected to you, that's like that's that secret sauce, man. That's the it factor.
Yeah, 100%.
Tú me hiciste brujería, bruja, brujita, tú me hiciste brujería. ¡Demonios!
And it's crazy because what happened was, at first it was really hard to get stage time. I would go and sit at the clubs in the city and wait, to get stage time, and I really wasn't getting much. And I'm the type of person, I need to make stuff happen. I can't just sit and wait. So
Right.
I started producing my own shows at the restaurant. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is cool. And then I started meeting friends at restaurants, and I was like, can I do it at your restaurant? Can I do it at your restaurant? And it's just like blown up to the point that like all my friends are like, hey, you know what? My Thursday nights aren't that great. Can you do a show? I'm like, done, and I get to bring people to new places, and they love it because they get to try new foods and,
Yeah.
meet new, people. And I love bringing people together. So like a lot of my people that come to the show, it's like one person, they all sit in the table together. And at the end, they all become friends. And they're like, hey, I'll see you next show. All right, cool, And I love that.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
And that's the Out of Control comedy show that you got going on.
Yeah.
Which which I think is great because it looks like you're mixing it up. It's not just all comedy. You got music acts coming in there. You got like a lot of fun. I mean, I see you dancing around and just enjoying life. The audience is engaged. Everybody's into it. So tell me a little bit about the Out of Control comedy. Like how often do you guys is it weekly? Is it monthly? How do you like tell me about that?
So it's a monthly show. Out of Control Comedy started at Puerto Plata in the water in Freeport. That's the first time I did my own produced show by myself. And I was like, this is so much fun. Basically, I have a photographer and a videographer because I learned I need to have someone to do. I can't be with my phone. I'm not enjoying the process. I'm not
Right.
having
Yeah.
fun. And the whole point is to have fun. That's why I do my shows.
Right.
And then I have a DJ, and he rides with me. He actually lives in Jersey. And the fact that he like does all my shows, he's so amazing. So that's kind of what my production team consists of. What happened was I have a lot of friends in the music business. So I said, why don't I incorporate like musicians? So I had a violinist that opened up for one of my headliners. I had what do you call it? Accordion?
Yeah, the accordion. Yeah, that
Yeah,
guy.
so cool. And then I had a saxophonist.
Yeah.
So it was just so cool. And I do it as a surprise to the headliner, and they're just like, wow, I don't think I can come up to anything else anymore. That's why I call it Out of Control, because that's what it is. I'm out of control. I'm going to do something and you have no idea. Every show is a new surprise. Every show I have something new and different. I love working with people that I've worked with them before. I've seen them. I've created somewhat of a family. I don't give you the same comics. I try to have a different comic every show. Every show, it's a different lineup. If I
Right.
do repeat, it would be a different location. So let's say I did Puerto Plata, then I did Papagayo, then I did Slice. So that's 3 different locations. But if it's at the location, they only perform once because I don't like to repeat.
Right, right. No, I think that's good too. This way, the audience, the ones who keep recurring, coming, following you, are always seeing a different show every single time, different acts, and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I bring in people that they don't have to go to the city to go watch, which is
Right.
with congestion pricing and everything. They're like, look, I could just go to Queens and I can watch Simeon Goodson, that's usually at the Comedy Cellar, or I can watch
Yeah.
Mark Gregory, that's traveling around the world. I can watch Gina Brion. I can watch all these people that they would have had to gone to the city to do that. I have so many people that this is their date night, and it's once a month. It's always on a Thursday. One, because I'm like a thirsty Thursday type of girl. Like I like Thursdays.
Yeah, there you go. Thursday. Never heard nobody.
Yeah.
Right?
I did do a Sunday brunch for a little bit, and that was only because it fell into my schedule. Like I was a manager at the place that I was at. So I was like, well, I got to work. You know what? Might as well work and do comedy at the same time.
That's all. Yeah, double dipping. That's great. I do want to give a shout out to Simeon Goodson because that guy rocks. He's hilarious, and we had him on the show a couple weeks ago. Yeah, he's freaking on. He's a rising star. That guy's gonna be big. So
Oh my gosh. The fact that he did my little show, like, cause I'm like, and it's funny because he's super tall and the lighting was like hitting him. He's like, what? He was just making jokes about the lighting. He said, this is not for tall people.
oh, that's good.
But we had so much fun. And I try to bring, different types of people. So it's definitely a good time.
How do you go about the booking process, like as far as discovering this talent? What goes like how do you decide who you want on your set and how do you figure all that out?
Mainly it's people that I've worked with. I always if you give me an opportunity, I give you an opportunity. So you put me on a show, I put you on a list, and next show, boom, you're going on that show. Also, I have friends in the business and they'll say, hey, check this person out. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'll go to that show, I'll check them out, I'll feel their energy. I'm very picky. And I know it's like, I don't want to be, but I am. I'm very selective because
Yeah.
whoever I'm bringing, I need to make sure that my crowd, it fits into my crowd, fits
Right.
into my people. Where my crowd is 30 to 50s. That's the age range. I do have a lot of Latinos, Latino, Black, Indian. So I have a lot of like, different cultures like that. So I
Right.
want to make sure that whoever I bring, it fits into that. So that is part of the selection process going, let me see what they're set about. I'm not going to lie. I don't like when people are like, oh, eating ass. And that's
Right.
not something my crowd is going to laugh at. Because I'm like,
Right.
it's nothing wrong with it. Good for you. You do what
Right.
you do. But that's not something like it has to be relatable. There has to be good writing behind it. Yeah, I don't want like an Instagram comic.
Right.
Not that
Right.
there's anything wrong with that. Good for them. But that's not the type of comedy that I want. I want someone that really took the time to write, and really put together something that my crowd's gonna be like, wow.
You're right.
Like I crowd work, that's what I do sometimes. I don't need you to do crowd work.
Right.
I want you to give them real jokes that they can go, holy shit, that makes sense, or whatever it is, and they can go home and remember you by those, which I love.
Exactly. Yeah. You want like a clever comedian and not going lowbrow, like you said, like the eating ass type of stuff where, seems like so many of these young comics are going in that bag of tricks
Yeah.
and going there. But yeah, I think we're on the same page as far as what kind of comedy you're looking for, and
Yeah.
I think that makes absolute sense. And maybe because we're not in our 20s anymore and we just don't get it. But I'm with you on the 30, I'm in the 30 to 50 demographic for sure.
It's like I get it that there's places, that works for. My crowd, they won't relate to young kids. And not that I have a lot of young kid comic friends and they're great, they're awesome.
Yeah.
But they just don't fit into my show.
Yeah. No, I agree because they talk about stuff that we've already done. And you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Stuff that we've already been through and like their experiences aren't anything that we can relate to anymore, like for some of us, like I'm old enough when I was coming up, we didn't have like, the internet or cell phones or anything. So if they're talking about their cell phone, porno, whatever they find on I can't, I'm already way past that. So yeah.
Yeah, you checked out. You're like, that's not funny to me. Or politics.
Right.
None of
Yeah.
my comments. Yeah, I don't really. We don't talk about politics. So we'll do a quickie here and there, but not focusing on
Right.
that. That's right now. It's too much of a touchy subject, and I'm good. I
It
want my
gets
people to
too
feel good.
Yeah, and that's what I like about you because
Mhm.
you don't go there and sometimes people we get politics in this day and age more than ever that I've
Yeah,
seen. We get politics crammed down our throat everywhere you turn. Everybody, if it's everywhere,
yeah,
politics, and it's dividing us so divisive that I think we go to a comedy club to come together and to see
yes,
what we have in common.
exactly.
Because that's the one you talk about family and your mom and everything
Mhm.
and that's something we all can relate to. That transcends race, that transcends financial, that transcends what part of the world you live in. We all have moms, we all have
Yeah.
families, and we it's all kind of the same, and we
Yeah.
can relate.
I talk a lot about my single or previous single life, and then I talk about my present. Because me and my boyfriend are both comics, so it's relatable, and also I'm in my 40s, he's 50, so it's just like we talk about that, trying to have a baby, like So many things that most people can relate to.
Exactly, the trials and tribulations of life.
Life, exactly. Exactly.
And dating, in your 40s could be complex and complicated. I've done it. You know, I'm on my second wife now, my third like serious relationship in my life. So yeah, I've been through it all. But yeah, in the 40s, it's not easy because
No,
the
there's a lot to joke about.
yes, indeed.
Because you think you're young, but you're not, you know?
Exactly. And everybody that's if you're dating like within your age range, everybody has been through some stuff.
Yep.
It's not like when you're young and you're kids and everybody's kind of starting together. It's it gets complicated.
Definitely. And then it's like getting to know the other person. And especially like, my boyfriend's black. So I talk about the fact that he's black and I'm Spanish and how, that kind of like translate, it's just so there's a lot of material.
Nice. We gotta go check you out. I gotta come out and see you next time you're performing, for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I have a show coming up at Mama Juana Cafe in Huntington Station or Huntington, Long Island, whatever it's called, March 20th. And that's going to be a killer lineup. I'm super excited about that lineup.
nice. So March 20th in Huntington. Okay.
Yes, it's called Mama
Excellent.
Juana, Mamajuana.
Mama Guana.
Mama Juana.
Nice. I grew up in Brentwood. You think that I would have my like my Spanish. I got three Puerto Rican children. I got
Oh,
I
wow.
was with the Puerto Rican woman for like 15 years. So you would think I would have my Spanish down a little bit, but I'm just slipping.
Unacceptable. And you need to get more women on this because I'm like looking, I'm like, there's like two women. I was like, what's going on? Two good women. But I'm just like, why don't you need to have more women, more colorful women.
Yes, for sure. I agree. I agree that and that's my plan
Okay, good.
is to get more women, more colorful women, and
I
for
had to call
sure.
you out. I was like, what's going on here? I was scrolling. I was like,
All
where's
these
a lot
white
of men?
guys. What's up?
White guys.
If you did you see what I had Simeon on though? That was
Yes,
actually
yes.
a good interview. Yeah, that guy rocks. But yeah, man. Yeah, I gotta diversify for sure. Have you done comedy in Miami? Have you hit the Miami scene?
I have not. That is so on my bucket list. I did do Chicago.
Oh wow.
And Chicago was amazing because what happened was I have my best friend whose husband passed away lives in Chicago. So I went and I was hanging out with her and I said, you know what? I see that there's a comedy show at the Laugh Factory. Let me see if I can get on. I write to the person, Mark Vieira. I don't know if you know Mark Vieira. He's amazing. He's known as the Latin assassin, one of the
He's
kings of
definitely
comedy. Yeah, Mark Vieira is amazing. And I just DM'd him thinking, this man's not going to write back. I said, hey, I'm in town. I would love to do a guest spot. He's like, come through.
wow.
What? I was like, oh my God, I'll be there. And I performed at the Laugh Factory in Chicago.
Wow.
Wow. It was one of the best 8 minutes of my life. Like, and the amount of feedback afterwards, because afterwards I stood with him when he was selling t-shirts and everybody wanted to take pictures with me. And I was like, oh my God, this is like a dream come true.
That's awesome. Have
Yeah.
you been keeping in touch with Mark after that?
Yes, he put me up recently. I did the same thing. I hit him up. He was at Sasa Con Fuego in the Bronx. I don't know if you've heard of it. Rob Stapleton runs that.
Oh yeah,
And I
no,
hit him
Rob.
same thing. I said, hey, I see you're gonna be in town. And he's like, come through. I was like,
That's
so I said
awesome.
to everybody, what's the worst thing they're gonna say? No.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Whenever people try to take a chance with their career, you gotta be fearless, and you gotta remember the worst that could possibly happen is they're gonna say no.
Yeah. So
And
I
then
keep on trying.
when you get the opportunity, you gotta seize it and
Yes.
kill it like you've been doing. You
Yes. Yes.
know,
Yes.
because I feel like I said, you're a natural. You kind of already got seasoned up coming up through the industry, the hotel industry and all that, and the restaurant
Yeah.
industry, and so that kind of seasons you and get you prepared for this. Your dancing background, but now you're kind of like a juggernaut in the stand-up world. You kind of like really moving fast and kind of
Yeah.
growing fast and making the right connections and just doing it all, everything the right way from.
Thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying. I really am. There's days that I get like I had two shows canceled this month, and I'm like, oh, but I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Like, I'm like, all right, just keep on trying. And I keep on writing to people and I keep on making connections and going to shows and meeting people and hoping to continue to get on stage because I love hosting, but I also love performing. And I feel like I haven't been able to do that in a while. So I'm hoping I can continue to perform at other people's shows.
For sure. Have you been performing? I know I saw you at the Governor's Comedy Club, the Christmas party or the holiday party we had.
Yes.
And have you ever thought about bringing the Out of Control comedy show to like the Giggle Room or something like that?
I have. We've been in conversation. James and I have definitely been in conversation. So it probably is coming up in the future. So yeah, that might be in the works. It would be nice. We've definitely talked about it. Just, I have performed in the main stage a couple times because of Roberto Vanderpool, which is one of my good friends, and he used to travel with Tracy Morgan. I don't know if you know him.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
He put me on. Welly Jackson put me on, so I have performed a couple times there, which is great.
Nice.
But I would love to continue performing there because it's so close to me now that I'm in Long Island. It's the
Yeah.
best coast.
Governors need some flavor, some
And
like nice
and their
Latin
Christmas
flavor.
party is fire. I gotta say, I love their Christmas party. One of the best Christmas. The food is so good, and the
Yeah.
music and I was dancing all night. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe I was the
Yes.
only one, but
Shout out to James and Governors for throwing a great party,
yeah,
man. We were having a blast. It was
yeah,
great to finally have seen you and met you in the flesh in person because, like I said, I've been like, watching your stuff for a long time, and I was like, there she is. It's Esther. This
I
is awesome.
was like, hey,
And you always look like you making delicious food. Like, is that something too that like you ever think about doing like maybe a cooking segment where you're showing how, if you might have already done this, but like showing you actually cooking it? Because
I have. I started it in YouTube. Maybe I guess like I'm just the type of person. I'm not good at editing. I just put stuff raw. I'm like,
right,
film, boom, post, and I'm like, I need to work on it. But I have thought about it. So many people have told me one of my favorite times is breakfast time. So in the future, I might even open like a little breakfast cafe, like just something
yeah.
small that's just like breakfast only, and maybe at the nighttime a comedy club. I don't know.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be, but I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming for it. Oh well.
Hey, you're making all your other dreams come true, you know? So
Yeah,
just you're doing something right.
I hope so. I hope so. Making my mama proud.
Do you think that like keep talking about your kind of positivity and how you're like this bright light. Um do you think that is contagious or how do you show people how to kind of find that positivity? Like, we're talking about how we go through, tough times as a country lately and the world is, but I think if we all could find the positive, maybe we could all, the world could be a better place. So how do you kind of reach and how do you do it day by day?
I agree with what you're saying. One of the things that is most shocking to me is when people tell me, "Oh my God, you're so nice." I'm like, I'm just being me. Like, I'm not doing anything extra, but we're so used to being mistreated. We're so used to being talked to badly, being, that we're not used to the good stuff. So I try every day to make a difference in someone's life, even if it's just like the basic. I'm walking down the street and I see an old lady with like, a grocery bag that she can't handle and picking it up. I feel like those little moments make a difference because she's going to go home and go, you know what? Someone did this for me or whatever it is, or hitting up a friend just out of the blue, like, hey, I want you to know you're beautiful. Maybe you don't hear it every day, but and I just little things like that, I think make a difference. I hope make a difference. I will continue to be that person. I'll always be my grandmother's granddaughter. My grandmother was one of the kindest, most beautiful human in the world. And she was always spread love. So I made it kind of like my mission. So I try my best, even if it's by just doing a little shout out. I don't know if you notice when I do my morning videos and my couch talk, I always shout out somebody like, hey, they're doing a show here or whatever it is, and
Right, yeah.
showing love and hoping that will continue to kind of reciprocate. And also people will continue to all be kind to each other. Because like you said, it's a really rough time that we're living in. It's a really scary time that we're living in. So if I can just by a little smile, by a little wink, by a little shaky, make
Right.
someone's day, then I'll continue to do that. So
No, I think that's great, and I think that um, I hope people understand how important that is,
yeah.
because it is uplifting. Like I said, you just watch it on Instagram and it puts a smile on your face, and you're automatically you feel good, and almost sometimes I get a little hungry. I'm like, man, what's she making?
Right? Because you're thinking, oh, because I make breakfast for one. Like
Right.
every morning, I make because people are like, oh, I don't want to cook for myself. And now I've got people that hit me up. They're like, look what I made. I'm like, ooh, okay. So I love inspiring people, and I love people that don't generally cook for themselves to go, you know what? Esther did it. And I, no joke, I wake up in the morning. I do go to the gym, not every time, but most of the time go to the gym. And what I have is 30 minutes. This is literally 30 minutes. I don't really, it's not like this is hours. When I post, I cook, boom, I go to the couch. This is all 30 minutes span.
Wow. Yeah. You have like the whole thing. Like you should like. I'm hoping that one of these shows sees you like one of these like on the Food Network or something like that
I
because
know.
you got the whole package. You would be like a sensation.
Listening to Lee Virgos, Apaga la Luz, girl, you killed it. Great song. I've already learned the whole lyrics. I've like played it twice. Anyway, guys, happy Thankful Tuesday. I'm so thankful for so many things. So my tia got me this turtleneck with that for Christmas. I was like, oh, tia, but like you could tell she's from Miami because she got me a turtleneck with no sleeves.
You know,
Aw. I look up
yeah,
to Rachel Ray, so I would love to be the next Rachel Ray.
yeah, for sure. I can see that. I could definitely see it because, like I said, yeah, it'd be this fun show. I could see it. You're like the set is like in the kitchen. You're there. Somebody comes out with the saxophone. You got
And I'm wearing like a little, they're like, what is she wearing? Oh yeah, I found this in my closet.
You're like, this is awesome. And then you start cooking and having fun, and then I just think it'd be awesome. That'd be great. You should
Hopefully,
definitely
let's see.
yeah. What are your goals? Where do you see where do you see yourself taking this to?
I mean, as I said, I'm a little bit of a dreamer, but I'm also a make stuff happen. And in the future, I do want to open up my breakfast place. It is something that's on my mind. It is something I'm kind of thinking about. I would love to have a comedy club. I know that it's not as easy as, it's very, very hard. I've seen my friends in comedy in Harlem, what they had to go through. So I know it's not easy, but that's the vision that I have. I would want in about 10 years to have a little cafe that during the day you get breakfast and then at night you come and do, comedy. So I don't know. That's kind of what I want. So hopefully.
I think you're going to make it happen. I think you already know how to do it all. You already know how to run a business. You know
Yep.
how to run a restaurant.
Yep.
You know how to book comics. You know what's funny, what's not funny. I mean, you already have it all figured out.
Yeah. I just need a location and money, little things.
Yeah, just that, and then you'll be set.
I'm good.
Maybe you could find something else. Like, would you want to keep it in Huntington, or do you like when you scout a location? Is it just I'm just looking for you know like certain things like what's the population? Is it a good sidewalk where a lot of foot traffic, or like what goes into figuring out a location of a restaurant? I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of factors. Safety is very important.
Yeah,
That's something that we learned when we were looking for a location for the new Hyde Park. We want something that the area is safe for the most part. You never know exactly how safe it is, but for the most part, you look at those. You kind of check out the precincts, like, hey, where's the crime? Little things like that. Parking is very important. I've
yeah,
learned that too. Parking is
yes,
very, very important. If people don't have somewhere to park, they won't go.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Close to a train station because some people don't drive. So
Right,
it's always good to be close to a train station. Um, Ideally, I would like Queens just because of my love for Queens.
right,
But if it's Long Island, it would have to be closer to Queens, Long Island. I don't want to go too far.
right,
So
right. Like
yeah.
all the way out where I am.
Yeah.
I'm all the way out
That
in
just looks
almost
far.
yeah, I'm all the way out in Riverhead, like Riverhead long. It's all the way out. Yeah,
That's
so
yeah, we had to get our permits there. Yeah, I know Riverhead.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's like for you, it's probably like almost 2 hour drive from where you are to get out here.
Yeah, it's far.
So yeah, from well, maybe not 2 hours from Huntington, maybe it's an hour and
For traffic, yeah.
change. Yeah, but yeah, so I whenever I go to Levittown, it takes me about an hour. So, but it's I like it out here. I like getting the difference. I'm out here like in the boondocks in the country, but then I go there and get the energy because there's no other energy like Queens or any of the boroughs or the city. There's
Yeah.
a certain energy no other place. I've been to a lot of cities. No city comes close.
No, and again, I'm a Miami girl. I love Miami. I love home. But that's why I moved to New York because I was like, as much as I love Miami, I want more. I love my girlfriends, but they've all married their high school sweethearts. I have 4 kids, live in the same neighborhood. I wanted more. I wanted to go out and really like travel and learn about
Right.
different cultures, try different foods from different
Yeah.
places. And that's the New York is a one stop. You can try different food from different places and not have to actually travel the world.
Just walk around the block.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I have traveled. I love traveling, but being in New York, you just meet so many different type of cultures and different type of people, and I love that.
Yeah, there's nothing like New York, and I do love Miami. I've been there a few times. That place comes alive too, especially for like South Beach, and I mean that place could start popping and be like whoa, this is awesome.
This is a lot.
There's like a million Esthers here. This is great.
Oh my God, so true. 100%. They all sound like me.
But
I
no,
just that Miami energy.
yeah, you bring that Miami energy here, and the Cuban food here, and
Yes.
and that's a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. Because I think both are excellent, and people need to come out and support both your comedy and your restaurants and everything you're doing because and check you out on Instagram because I think it's awesome. So
Oh, thank you.
yes, for sure. Well, Esther, you rock. We got to get you to Governors. Me and Tony Walker, you met Tony that night too. He does a
Yes.
couple podcasts out of the studio there. We got to get you come into studio, but also we got to get you. We've been producing shows, so we're going to try to get you on one of our shows. We don't have any dates set yet, but when we
Okay.
do, I'll let you know because I would love to get you on
Oh,
and perform for one of our shows here. We do in the Giggle Room. It's Governor's Comedy Podcast Presents, and then we have all different types of comedians. It'll be awesome to have you on the bill.
oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. So what else do you got going on? What do you got coming up?
Um, well, as I said, I had a bunch of cancels, so I was so excited about certain shows, but they got canceled. March 20th is the next one that I'm producing. After that, I'm doing something in the Bronx, or is it? I don't know if it's the Bronx, but it's uptown, something like that. It's 1211 Entertainment. I'm hosting,
Oh,
which is
nice.
nice, a fun show. After that, I have my birthday show, April 10th, at Slice Astoria in Queens. And that's where I have my monthly room. So I'm super excited about that. So that's going to be a great show.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
happy birthday. April
Thank you. Yeah,
10th.
my audience.
That's awesome. Well, everyone's got to come out and check you out. And where can so if people want to follow you on Instagram, it's Esther Acosta,
Esther the Cuban comic.
Esther the Cubic Comic, and you also
I know it's a lot. Esther, like in the Bible. The Cuban comic.
I'll put it down as a lower third too, so everyone can see it
It's a lot.
on there. And I'll put your link will also be in this too, so people just click onto the link in the information below. Esther, this has been awesome getting to know you and
you.
talk to you. And we are going to be hitting you up and see if we get you on one of our productions out here in Governors too, because we gotta get you while we can before you got a Netflix special or you're off and running. You got your own cooking show or something. We got to get you now. Oh,
You know what? It's so funny. When I first started, I would say my goal was I wanted to be the first Cuban American female on Netflix. And I was so like, that's what I want. That's what I want. But now that I'm into it, I'm like, I don't know that it has to be Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, I think I've learned now that there's other outlets, and maybe Netflix is not the be end all be all, you know, maybe there's something else. So, but that was, I was so set in my brain. Like I would write it down, I would talk about it, I would say it all the time. And now I'm like, I wouldn't mind just having my own special. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And in Miami.
Oh, you would do the special in Miami?
100%. It would have
That
to be
would
in
be
Miami because I would need my family, my friends, like I would need all that love. Yeah.
that would be lit. So how like to do your own special, you need at least 30 minutes. So you got a good 30 so far? You working that out?
I have a lot of material, but I can't safely say that I can do 30 minutes straight. I mean, I probably can, but there would be a crowd. I want to make sure that I'm so solid in that material that it's so well written. Like I want to be like Nikki Glacier, like boom, like you know, when
Yeah,
I go
yeah,
out, I want to blah, 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 guns
yeah.
blazing. Like I don't want to just be like like I want to be the best. So I don't think I'm there yet, but I hopefully soon.
Yeah, you got a really strong plan in place.
Yes,
You are a doer. You don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk, you make things happen. I believe in
yes.
you.
Thank you.
And
I'm
yeah.
like the therapy. I'm like, thank you.
No, this is therapy for me because I'm trying to absorb some of your energy and make myself better too, make myself go out there and do it. Because you inspire
Good.
people.
Thank you.
You inspire just by doing,
Thank you.
and that's a beautiful thing, and so you can't stop just because if you got to do it for all of us too.
Oh, yay.
Well, you rock, Esther. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me and to do this interview with me. This will be coming out in a couple of weeks, the
Okay.
full interview. But as you see, I put little clips up on Instagram, so I'll probably start doing those as early as like early next week.
Okay.
So, but you rock. This has been a real pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody, check out Esther Acosta, and let me see if I get the name of it again right.
Esther, the Cuban comic.
Recon
ESTACR. Criollo.
Criollo. Criollo.
Criollo. Like
Criollo.
yo.
Oh,
Criollo.
Criollo.
Yes.
Criollo.
And with the hand gesture. I love it. With the
You're the best.